All right. Tonight we're going to start the meeting with another one of our presentations regarding economic strengths. As you may remember, in November, the City Council kicked off an initiative which includes a monthly review of the economic strengths which enrich the city of Schenectady. This review includes presentations by an array of economic contributors, including locally based corporations and industry, area business districts representing small and family-owned businesses, and other economic sectors from healthcare to service to education and nonprofits. These presentations highlight the economic impact these local businesses or organizations have on Schenectady's economy, including generated income, number of local jobs, innovation, and production, along with a review of the history and future planning of the business. Tonight, the City Council is excited to announce that we have Mona Golub, Vice President of Public Relations and Consumer Services for Price Chopper, on hand to present as part of this series. Price Chopper, also known as the Golub Corporation, exists to help people feed and care for themselves and their families. As noted on the company's website, we are an innovative retailer of products and services and recognize that consistently satisfying our customers is key to our success. Price Chopper is committed to their customers, teammates, and shareholders, and is planning to offer their customers the same personalized service that was introduced over 75 years ago. In addition to being the official spokesperson for Price Chopper, Mona Golub combines her love for the arts, music, and theater by working those passions into helping to drive store activities and community engagement. Please join me in welcoming Mona Golub from Price Chopper. Mona.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. And thank you and good evening to all of you. It's an opportunity that we very much appreciate to celebrate our Schenectadian roots. Price Chopper, the Golub Corporation. Our mission, much of which the Chairwoman just said, the Golub Corporation exists to help people feed and care for themselves and their families. We are an innovative merchandiser of products and services and recognize that helping to fulfill the expectations of those who rely on us, customers, teammates, community, and shareholders, is our key to our success. And our sustainable growth and health is truly contingent upon the satisfaction of the people who we serve. We are, in fact, a homegrown company. We are American-owned, we are family-managed, and we are now in our 4th generation. And we consider ourselves a family in business as opposed to being a family business. And the emphasis there is that our decisions are made in the best interests of the business, always have been. But the story began quite some time ago when my great-grandfather, Louis Golub I, Lieb, arrived here in Schenectady from Russia in 1900. He first opened a lunchroom and then a dairy store and eventually a wholesale grocery in 1922. And that was a warehouse of sorts at that point in time. Shortly before his very premature death in 1930, he merged the Golub Wholesale Foods with another wholesaler so that his sons, Ben and Bill, could have a solid future. But Ben and Bill, they were pioneers, and they ended up gathering all of the ideas and concepts that they could, and they opened the area's first self-service supermarket in upstate New York, the Public Service Market in Green Island. So where did the name Central Markets that some of you may remember come from? Well, the next 2 stores ended up closer to, yes, Central Park. And that's where the name Central Markets originated from, and that, in fact, was the name of the chain until the early 70s. I had fun searching for old photos of our Schenectady stores, the Bellevue branch. So Ben and Bill, my great-uncle and my grandfather, they were all about service and supporting the community and innovation. A few of the concepts that they're best remembered for are the 4-H grower-producer programs that encourage local farmers by offering to buy back the best of their crop. They started the Empire State Red Label program that established the egg industry in New York State. They got tired of buying eggs from elsewhere. They also began the S&H Green Stamp program here that was considered to be the original customer loyalty reward program. And they helped to form the Food Marketing Institute, which is the national organization around food marketing that still exists to this day. Next came Louis and Neil. But progress during the Ben and Bill era, let's see, I just read through those, thank you. We can switch to the next one. Louis and Neil. As Ben and Bill's sons, they really grew up in the business. Let's see. Under Lewis and Neal in the early 70s is when Central Markets became one of the first supermarkets in the nation to be open 24 hours a day. And Central Markets gave way to Price Chopper in 1972, 1973. By the turn of the century under Lewis and Neal, the size of the chain had quadrupled. Some of you may remember the old Eastern Parkway store that's since been rebuilt across the street from what was the community center for some time in the original Eastern Parkway store. And this store, for those of you who go back a little further, you may remember that it was an original train station in Schenectady. And there are still photos of that train station, and that you could see where the tracks existed in the back room of the store, which was J.M. Fields before it became Price Chopper. I remember working in that store, actually, and trying to move heavy pallets of juice across those cracks in the back floor that used to kind of expand every winter because the train tracks had been there. It wasn't easy. Okay. And of course, the 24-hour signs, that was shortly after we went 24 hours a day. And that was the original Glenville store on the other side, of course, of Schenectady County. Neal and Lewis. Now this is the Price Chopper Supercenter on Eastern Parkway amidst construction, and that's the store that exists there today. And the ribbon cutting for that very store back in 1993. That's a Mohawk Commons store in Niskayuna. Where are we today? We've got 133 stores in 6 different northeastern states and 22,000 very valued teammates who collectively own more than 47% of the company's privately held stock. And that is quite unusual to have a privately held company that shares that much of its holding with its teammates. We're very proud of that. And you may remember that we celebrated our 80th anniversary back in 2012. This is where those stores exist all over the map. But the fact of the matter is, our heart and soul, right here in Schenectady, New York. We now have a new main office building. The original was on Erie Boulevard way back when. And then when the store chain grew to about 25 under Ben and Bill, we built a large warehouse in Rotterdam. That was christened in 1961. And just about 4 years ago, we were proud to open our new main office right at 461 Knott Street in downtown Schenectady. It's a LEED certified gold building, sustainable building, and it was constructed on a brown field that had been abandoned for many, many years. So our Rotterdam distribution complex, which now that our main office has moved, has the room to grow so that it can provide for the growth and health of the company. Today, in terms of our Schenectady stores, we've got the one on Eastern Parkway I've spoken of, Niskayuna at Mohawk Commons, of course Glenville, and Rotterdam on Altamont Avenue. Our employment numbers in Schenectady alone are 2,559 in the county, and specifically in the city of Schenectady, 1,000 plus teammates of ours are working here in the city of Schenectady. As far as our community relations and philanthropy, something near and dear to us since the very beginning when Ben and Bill laid that foundation, we are committed to supporting efforts that help youth, seniors, education, diversity and inclusion, health and human services, culture and the arts, emergency response, and even activity, as in sporting activities. Community connectivity is very important to us. And that means that when Ellis Hospital does a community needs assessment, we figure out how we can be a part of that. Health, wellness, and nutrition are very important. The RX Impact Project that we just won an award for nationally that helped with diabetes in the Hamilton Hill area gave us another opportunity to help our own community here at home. And of course, when the city came calling, as they do for good events and opportunities with the American-made movie. We were happy to be there as well. It's about connectivity in the community for good. Our core values: as an American-owned and privately held and managed company, we hold ourselves to the following core values. All of our decisions begin and end with our customers in mind. We treat our teammates with respect, value their individuality, and share our successes with them. We value our reputation, and we hold ourselves accountable to the highest standards of personal integrity and business ethics. We're a socially aware and environmentally responsible company, and we look to nourish the communities that we serve and the people who live in them. As for our future, well, we're going to remain committed to our mission and vision and core values. We're going to look for opportunities both for organic growth from the ground up or new store growth via acquisition. We will bolster and diversify our corporate social responsibility and always be looking to evolve and reinvent ourselves. You've seen the public service market evolve to central markets, evolve to Price Chopper, and now you may have seen and or heard about Market Bistro. Our newest, which also gives some idea as to where in the future we may be heading, with new ideas and new concept stores, meeting trends and needs of consumers. That is what it's about. Our next generation of stores are right around the corner, and you will be the first in this area to see them because this is our hometown. Three generations after a seed was planted by Louis Lieb Golub, and we are still proud to call Schenectady home. Thank you.
Thank you, Mona, and thanks to your family for the commitment to Schenectady.